let's take a look inside Explorer for Endevor, inside of VS Code itself. And actually, to start, I want to show the walkthrough. Each of the extensions in Code4z has a walkthrough that will take you through the basic steps to getting started. For Explorer for Endevor, you can see there are several things here. First of all, finding Explorer for Endevor in the tree view, and then connecting to web services. Here you see there are even GIFs to kind of guide you through what steps to take. Following connecting to web services, there's search for elements. This is opening the tree and going into an inventory location that you want to use. And then there's generally how to use Explorer for Endevor, for which you can use the command palette, and it will actually give you other walkthroughs that we include. In general, with Code4z, we encourage you that you go through the walkthroughs because they are the ideal place to start. Moving out of the welcome screen now and actually going to the extension, you can see that I have this tree view at the top, and here I have two connections, one that's called API ML. If I hover over this, I can see the particulars of the Endevor Web Services instance that I'm using, as well as what kind of authentication necessarily. In this case, I'll be working with the demo connection, which points to a particular web services instance. I actually already have a location or an inventory location defined. Here you can actually see the particular configuration of web services and some information about the recent actions that were done and the CCID and comment that I have specified. I'm going to click into this inventory location. It's going to make the request to Endevor to get the elements. And then inside I'll see the structure. I can see the types of elements that are present in this inventory location. I have some COBOL programs. If I go into the element types and I hover over a particular element, you'll get in-depth information about the change level, where it resides, but also things like the last action CCID and the processor group name, which are helpful for developers because they may need to work with or search for those respective fields. I can also right-click and do View Details, which shows the information and shows additional information actually for each element. If I just click on the element, this will do what's equivalent of a browse operation in Endevor, and I'll see the metadata information as well as the change levels, and then of course the content of the element. In my case, I want to go through a little edit scenario so you see what that looks like. If I right-click on the element, I'll do Edit. And rather than that browse behavior that we saw before, we'll actually edit or enter an edit scenario. And here you can see that because I have Code4z, I also get the benefits of COBOL LSP. So for this particular COBOL program, I have highlighting and I can track variables and everything else. For the purpose of editing, I'm just going to add just number 2 to this comment, and I'm going to save. And when I save, this is the moment when Explorer for Endevor will try to sync my change that I just made back to Endevor. First, it will ask me to enter the path where the element will be uploaded. It's pre-filled, obviously, because in general I want to sync it to the same location. Then I need to add a CCID, so CCID is z-test in this case, as well as a comment, just calling the z-testing. And when I hit enter, this is when it's actually uploading the element to Endevor. So if I do a refresh of the tree, we can see that with the element, we actually will have a new change level. So if I print this again, you see that now we have change level 108, and this is that simple change that I made, and we will find the number 2 at the end of that comment. So that's a simple edit session in Explorer for Endevor. You see that you can quickly get into your inventory location, find an element, and then take action. While I can see the change levels inside this browse element equivalent view, I can also take advantage of the element history in the tree. So if I refresh this for this particular element, it's going to actually open up the different change levels. And so if I click into one of these, what I will see is what was changed with each change level with highlighting. So you can see that there's a new line added. And I can also see for each of these who did it. So there's the username and the time or the particular day, as well as the CCID and comment. So I can easily track down the respective change levels in this history view. Quite handy, especially when you're working with particularly old elements or parts of applications. Just a couple of other things to highlight in terms of the location. I have this subsystem doggos and the types of elements here. These are all residing at that entry stage, dev entry stage, but maybe I want to see what's actually up the map, in which case I can go to the root or the inventory, and I can click this up arrow to show elements up the map. And what that will do is for each type folder, I'll now have this map selection. And if I open this, I can see that there are some other elements or some other COBOL programs, for example, that exist in prod 2. Maybe they're just meant to be there, but maybe I'm meant to make a change that corresponds with the doggos element that I changed earlier. So what I could do is take advantage of some of our generate actions. In this case, because they're up the map, I could do generate with copy back, generate with no source, or I could even generate the elements in place if needed. So there are a number of ways not only to find the elements that you want to work with just within your inventory location at an entry stage, but you can even populate that dev area with elements from up the map by using this generate with copy back. So that's a brief overview of what I can do inside Explorer for Endevor, and I hope that you will all take advantage of the extension, the walkthrough to get started, and then start playing with the whole full offering inside the extension.